talking about video games and all kinds of crap. That was amazing. And they came out with a video game called Killer 7. And the name really drew me in. And I was like, let me see this review. Because now that I have the resources to look some of this stuff up, let me see what it's all about. And they said it was a really good game at times. It was a really bad game at times. The best we can give it is a 3 out of 5. And I said,
that's not bad though. It's still passing.
It's passing.
It's still passing.
Right.
You gotta give it that much.
Yeah, 60% is.
In video games, 60% is like a 90 on a test. Okay.
And that's passing. And
exactly.
that's awesome. So I'll be honest with you. I didn't care. So somebody came around the house selling video games, and I saw Killer 7. I said, I want that game. I gave him $10 for it, and I played it. Was it different from any other game I had played? Yes. Did it bug me? No. Just like Transformers. Was it different than any movie that had ever come out at that time? Yes. Did it bug me? No.
Okay, I guess what you're saying, to each his own, right?
Right.
There's 7 billion people, a little over 7 billion people in the world now.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I could throw a stone and I'll hit someone that has a different idea than me. I'm 99% sure I'll hit someone that has a different idea than me.
I'll go outside with my Houston Texans shirt and it'll piss people off.
And we're in Houston. Go figure, right?
Right.
Shoot. Speaking of which, go Texans on Sunday against the Cowboys.
I'm not going to get into that anymore. I don't want to have these conversations anymore.
Oh, okay.
We'll let the best team win.
Okay, we're talking about critics here, right? I'm a huge critic of Tony Romo. And hear me out here. Hear me out on this one, okay? I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback. Don't you ever compare him to Peyton Manning. That's all I have to say about that. Don't ever compare him to Peyton Manning.
Me and a buddy of mine have already come to the conclusion that Peyton Manning is on a whole nother level.
Let me put you like this. Peyton Manning is not only your quarterback, he's also your offensive coordinator and at times your head coach.
He's a god among men.
Okay? And there are people out there that would say, oh, Tom Brady is better than Peyton Manning because he has 3 Super Bowl rings. Let's just remind you, since Adam Vinatieri has left the New England Patriots, they haven't won a Super Bowl.
You know who else has a similar situation to that?
Who?
Karl Malone has 0 rings. You know who Luke Longley is?
No. Who's Luke Longley?
He used to play for the Bulls.
Okay. Does he have 6 rings?
I think he has 3 or 4 different rings.
The last I checked, doesn't David Carr have a ring?
Yes.
So, Super Bowl rings isn't what it's about. It's about knowing that when you hear you play Peyton Manning, your defense goes, oh man, another sleepless week. Crap, I gotta go home to my wife and kids and tell them I'm sorry. When you hear you playing Tom Brady or anybody else, you're like, alright. Might be tough, but we can get through it. But,
I put myself in the Dallas Cowboys fans' shoes. I would defend my quarterback to an extent, just like I defended Matt Schaub to an extent.
The way I say it, it's all about what have you done for me lately, buddy.
But I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that either. I mean, yes, the NFL is a dog-eat-dog world, and yes, and to an extent it is what have you done for me lately. But I'm never going to say that. Okay? Any given Sunday, any team can win.
Okay, that is true. Let me take back what I said. Okay, when I said, what have you done for me lately? When the Texans were 2-14 for those 2 seasons, I supported them all through that last season's 14-game losing streak. Then 2005, when they went 2-14, I supported them throughout all of that.
Did we criticize them?
I criticized the hell out of them.
But did we ever turn our backs on them?
I did not turn my back on them.
Neither did I.
Now, when I mentioned Tony Romo, my problem with Tony Romo is not so much Tony Romo. It's the Tony Romo fanboys out there that he will throw 4 interceptions in the game, and then those same people will turn to you and say Tony Romo is the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, they won't say of all time, but they'll say he's a great quarterback and he belongs. He's elite.
Top 3 right
exactly. Now, Tom Brady throws 4 interceptions. Oh, Brady's career is done. He's over. He's washed up. He's this. He's that.
3 Super Bowl rings later.
Brett Favre.
He holds the record for
Brett
most
Favre,
interceptions.
exactly. But he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The guy was a gunslinger who had great receivers on his team, a hell of an offensive line, and played with a pretty good team. He's only won one Super Bowl.
You know who else has one Super Bowl ring?
Who?
Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, and Russell Wilson. Albeit Russell Wilson is a little bit better physically and athletically than these other two, but I still put those three.
And you know who has no Super Bowl rings? Dan Marino. Possibly, and arguably, the greatest quarterback of all time.
He made the quarterback position, in my opinion, back in the day, it wasn't about the quarterback. It was about other players on the team making it happen. The defense, the running backs, quarterback wasn't the most important position. I feel like when he
showed up, he said it. He put quarterback on another level from all the other positions. He made the quarterback position. Before it was all about who's your running back. Are you going to play smash mouth defense and run it down their throats? That's how you played. Dan Marino showed up. It was about 4 wide receivers. I'm going to throw for 5,000 yards a season. End of story.
He went to the Super Bowl as a rookie.
I mean, he may not have won any, but he sure as hell performed like he deserved them.
And that just goes to show you how flawed someone's opinion is. That nobody ever says anything bad about Marino. The only thing that they say is he hasn't won a ring. But if you want to be a critic about everything else, then you got to be a critic about the fact that he has no rings. You want to talk about Tom Brady being better than Peyton Manning because he has 3 rings? Well, Luke Longley has 3 rings. Karl Malone has none. I would pick Karl Malone 11 times out of 10.
True. And I mean, I guess, like I said, it's going back to the topic, I guess, that we somehow got on about criticism and critics in general.
Right, and it can be about anything. Movies, music, sports, hell, how we live our lives, what we wear.
And we're trying to do like 30-minute shows and everything. And we've probably wasted 20 plus minutes going on about what we do, how we're going to handle people that criticize us for saying our show is crap or something like that. And in our honest opinion, it's not about what the critic says, but it's, hey, is it what we're trying to talk about getting out there? Is what people enjoying listening to us? Right,
because there's a beauty in having an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because would you want to watch Around the Horn where everybody's saying, "Yep, he's good, he's great, he sucks, this and that"? No, I love to see people going at it, giving their honest, unfiltered opinions.
And I'm right there with you in that. I mean, it's more how can I put it, more organic in a sense. It helps you, I guess, grow from a standpoint in that you're not just getting what you want to hear, but you're getting the views of somebody else who, for all you know, maybe they make a point and point out something that you probably missed in the past.
And let's be honest, a lot of times, whether we like to admit it or not, we are biased.
Oh yeah, I'm biased 100%. I'll never vote for the Cowboys.
I love the Cowboys back in the day when we didn't have a team. I don't hate the Cowboys now, but come on, don't expect me to ride the Cowboys nuts when I have a team in my city.
Exactly.
Come on.
But I mean, with that being said, I mean, maybe we should wrap up our first show here. I mean, we spent our entire show talking about criticism,
which I'm sure we're gonna get some of it after this.
I'm waiting for that one person that says, "You guys talk about critics way too much. You need to stop that." And I'm like, "Thank you. That's what I wanted to see."
Yeah. But the topic was criticism, and it just goes to show you that we didn't limit it to 5 minutes or 10 minutes because you can't.
Yeah,
it's not something you can. It's like I said, you can do it about anything. My sister has 2 kids. There's going to be people that say, "Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's horrible. That's terrible." Critics. It can be anything. Do you like vanilla?
I hate vanilla.
Well, there's chocolate critics that hate vanilla too.
I know. I'm on the board of directors, dude. Come on, man. We have memos and everything.
and you hear about it every day. And let's be honest, some people wouldn't even have careers or make money or lives if it wasn't for criticism.
That is true. I guess let's wrap it here, and we'll do a segment at the end of each show called Closing Note, where we just give a quick 1-minute rundown of our own opinions on whatever topics we may have covered. So with that being said, for today's topic, I guess, was critics in general. My closing note would be simply this: everyone uses this saying now, of course. Don't judge a book by its cover. You should always give something a chance and see what it's about before you make judgment. Don't let somebody else's opinion on a matter determine your decision on it. So just try and use that as, I guess, a life lesson if you choose. You don't have to. Couldn't hurt.
The only thing I can say is that I've had experiences where people told me this is bad, and guess what? It turned out to be good. Hey, this is good. It turned out to be bad. I used to follow the crowd all the time when I was younger. But now as I've gotten older, more mature, a little bit wiser, I've come to realize, I'm going to make my own decisions. I'm going to make my own mistakes. I'll learn from them. Let me do what I want to do. And if somebody says this is a good movie, well, if it doesn't interest me, the previews don't interest me, I'm not going to go watch it. Even though somebody said it was a good movie. Somebody said it was a bad movie. Well, guess what? I saw some stuff blowing up, and I like stuff blowing up. I'm going to go watch it. That was one time, and I threw it away. But I would say you be the judge. Don't let what other people say or do affect what you want to say or what you want to do.
Alright, with that, guys, I'll just give out our email address here. We'll accept questions, suggestions for topics. We're open books here, guys. Don't be afraid to send us your topics or suggestions.
Or phone numbers if you're a cute girl.
Pictures must be included on those.
No catfish.
So, feel free to email us. The email address is theoicpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, theoicpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, and stay sexy, people.
But wait, we still have like 3 minutes.
Should we just do some tune-out music? Like Jeopardy or something?
How about we talk about the real issues? The real issues. Zombies.
Alright, we'll save that for another week, folks. See y'all. Bye.